Friday, ESPN reported Arizona basketball coach John Miller was caught on an FBI wiretap discussing a $100,000 payment to freshman star DeAndre Ayton. Miller said he will be vindicated, but he did not coach in Saturday's loss to Oregon. This came after Yahoo's report naming dozens of college basketball programs for paying current and former players. The president of the NCAA responded to the scandal by saying, quote, "We're serious about making real systematic change." We're joined now by Eric Dickerson. Eric, what's your take on all of this?
Well, first of all, the NCAA, they're the biggest hypocrites of all, because this has been going on for decades, even going back, even before I started playing football, basketball. NCAA exploits not just black kids, white kids, Asian, anybody who plays anything basketball, baseball, or football related, because they make the money. You know, they make all the money, and the kids aren't allowed to make money. You understand, a lot of these kids that play basketball or football come from broken homes, mama taking care of them, grandma taking care of them, sister, brother taking care of them, and that's their way out. And all of a sudden, you have to go to college for 1 year. Now, I know that's the NBA rule, but I feel like the NCAA is right there. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. You give me some, I give you some. So it's a way for them to really exploit those kids. And what are they going to say? Well, we give them a scholarship and housing. Oh, thank you, Massa. I appreciate that. For me, giving the housing and getting something to eat. It's more to it than that, because they're making all the money. This guy, Mark Emmert, he makes $2 million a year. I tell you what, if he's serious about it, let's say, okay, Mark, you take your salary, put your salary to the side for the years, say 4 or 5 years, until this situation gets straightened out, till these kids start actually getting some, I gotta say money. It's money, because look, I can just admit it right here. My days, we took stuff, everybody did it. Everybody still does it. It kills me when I hear people say, oh, Alabama, they don't have to do that. Man, you tell me a kid from California can't wait to get down to damn Alabama? You know, let's be serious about it. Come on, I'm from Southern Cal. I want to go to Alabama. You know, it's money exchange. It's money exchange. If I'm the top recruiter in the nation, I'm not going to get anything, nothing. I got a mama at home that's struggling, and all of a sudden, they give my mama $5,000. Oh, we going to blame the kid. He making all this money. You know, it's not the kid's fault. You're trying to take care of your family. And that's what it's all about. That's what I don't think, if you never had these problems, you don't know what it's like. Right. You don't know what it's like to have 1 meal a day, not 3. You don't know what it's like to have 1 pair of shoes. See, I know these things. I'm from a small town. I have 1 pair of shoes for school, 1 pair of shoes to go to church in. That was it. And 1 to play in. And some tennis shoes. And the tennis shoes to play in came from school, the old called Converse shoe. That was it. See, a lot of the white, and it's not, I didn't say race, but it's most of the black kids. It is the black kids in the broken neighborhoods, the hoods, the country, the small towns. And, you know, I'm just real passionate about it, because I see how they do these young men, and it's just so wrong if they take any money. I mean, first of all, if I'm a young kid and I want to go on a date, how am I going to go on a date? I don't have no money to go on a date. I want to take a girl, I want to take her out to a movie, I want to take her to dinner. Like, you owe me $500 for dinner, girl, like that.
$400.
$500 anyway. I'll bet. So anyway, it's just so frustrating to see how the NCAA has exploited all of these kids, and I just feel like they are the biggest criminals in the world, and all of it starts at the top. All of it starts at the top. You look at, I got to just say it, all these white guys sit up there making all this money off the backs of the black and white players. That's what they do. And it's basically, it's slavery. It really is slavery. And they might not want to say it. They're going to, oh yeah, we're gonna clean it up. They know what's happening. You tell me they don't know. They don't know. These big schools that do stuff, they're going to get a slap on the wrist. You know, some of that. But the smaller schools, like my school, SMU, we got the death penalty for paying players supposedly. We did.
Where did it start?
We did it. But Texas was doing it. A&M was doing it. Arkansas was doing it. All of them are doing it.
Start dry snitching on them.
I'm going to tell on everybody. All of them are doing it. Because you know what? I talked to the other players. Oh, man, yeah, I used to get $500 a month. They took care. They bought my mama a house, you know. They bought my mama. We needed a washing machine to dry. We didn't have no water. We had to dry clothes on outside on the clothesline. All of that stuff is just so wrong. And Man, I could go on this subject forever, but I'm gonna let somebody else talk about it. So let me shut up for a minute.
Skip Bayless, for me, Sean Miller is probably going to lose his job. He's probably never going to coach again, and this is going to happen because he was dumb. Because normally what happens is that the head coach, the guy that sits next to the head coach, that sits next to him, that sits next to him, he gets his hands dirty.
If they're smart.
That's right.
So the head coach hand stays clean. Mm-hmm. Come on, let's be real. You look at that. You look at do you see that guy? That guy's going to be either the first or the second pick in the draft. The guy that got the 100,000.
DeAndre Ayton.
That was a discount.
He's going to be the first pick. $100,000.
That was
the first pick in the draft.
Get him cheap.
That was a discount.
Wait, Markelle Fultz, who was the first pick, got $10,000 to go to $10,000? That's shameful.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm talking about shamefully low, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's
but that takes care of something for Mama. That takes care of something for Mama and Grandma. But it takes care of something. $10,000 a lot of money who a kid ain't never seen.
At least you can date a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, this isn't surprising, and I don't see the NCAA changing because, like I said, as you mentioned, I say when these guys come, a lot of them come from single-parent homes. They're raised by their mom or their grandparents or maybe an aunt. And Skip, there's not a whole lot of money back there. Now I'm gonna stay in a nice dorm room, got great facilities. The training table is unbelievable. But grandma and mama and brother and sister, they still hungry. And now I'm trying to get to point A. I'm at A right now, but I'm trying to get to point B as fast as I possibly can. Now, in the meantime, there's a whole lot of minutia here that you got me going through. Because I want to go from high school to the NBA.
Right.
Because I got to feed mama. I got to get mama out of this rat infested or this rain infested home that we're in. Skip, there's a story guy telling me about. He said he called two prominent college coaches. I'm not going to call their name. He said, I'm going to tell you what I do. He said, I won't call the NCAA and tell them that you're putting gas in that boy's car if you don't call and tell them we bought that car for him. Skip, this is never going to stop. It's never going to stop. You mean to think about it, Skip. You mean to tell me all these five-star recruits. Now, I'm not saying Duke got anything to do with it, but how you get the first, the second, and the third top-rated basketball player? How Kentucky? You mean to tell me Boogie Cousins and John Wall, they like horses that much?
I can't wait to get to Kentucky.
All I'm saying is this. You know what's going on, Mark Emmert. Good luck trying to clean it up. Because as long as you continue to make them go from high school to the college, they're going to take money. They just not going anywhere, Skip.
Got it. I need to get back to my friend Eric Dickerson.
This is your wheelhouse.
Okay, number one, big picture to both of your points. The single biggest injustice in all of sports is that football players must wait 3 years after high school. Not 1, 3 years.
Exactly. I'm going to come back to that.
To earn the living they should be making if they choose coming right out of high school.
I agree.
And I realize it's a man's game that you have to go play, and so maybe you're not quite ready to play that man's game, but I'm going to suggest to you that when he was at Sealy, Texas, as a high school senior, I think he could have gone to the Los Angeles Rams at that point and had a pretty good year as a 19-year-old. Am I right?
I think so.
I believe you could
I
have.
believe so.
Running back for sure translate. I believe Adrian Peterson could have. It might be a handful compared to how many NBA players could be as 18, 19-year-olds could be successful. But again, I hate when you use this slavery analogy because it's just so bad. I'm not sure it's slavery. I know you think it's close, but
it's close.
Okay, but now let's go back to SMU days. Just for those who don't know, this man signed with SMU. Craig James was already there. Ron Meyer, who's the coach, I was working in Dallas as the columnist at the Dallas Morning News at that point, called me that afternoon and said, you won't believe what we just did. We signed Eric. I said, you got Eric Dickerson on top of Craig James? Which led to a nickname called the Pony Express, which eventually led to a documentary done by SMU called Pony Excess, because in those days, SMU boosters decided, we're just lowly little SMU. We are going to buy a Southwest Conference championship, and they did. They nearly bought a national championship because you came real close.
We were the best team in the country.
You were, and they came within a tie. They got tied at Texas Stadium by Arkansas and Lou Holtz. That cost them the national championship that Penn State eventually won. But the point is, starting with Sherwood Blunt, who was the head of the boosters, they laughed at NCAA rules. They didn't just dodged them. They scoffed at them. And Ron Meyer would go into inner city Houston and put $100 bills, tack them on coaches' bulletin boards as his calling card. So they just said, this is absurd, these rules are. And I'm pretty sure they paid Eric Dickerson a good bit of money. Am I right about that?
He had a Trans Am.
You don't know?
I can't recall. I got
Trans Am.
CTE. I can't remember.
Did you have
right
a Trans Am?
now. I did have a Trans Am. My grandmother bought that Trans Am.
She wasn't working.
Let me tell you something. Yes, she was.
Now, wait,
Hold up.
Did you not get some annuity or some, I don't know, some, I think I just got you on that one.
I don't know.
Am I right?
I can't recall right now.
I
just can't remember. I'll put it like this here. I got something. Let's put it like that. Like all players get something. And my grandmother did buy that Trans Am for me. Let's go back to that. Because the NCAA came to my house every day for 1 solid month. Every day. And I won't forget it. My grandmother told him, she said, if I see you here one more day, I'm going to sue you and I'm going to sue the NCAA.
Wow.
I never saw the guy. The guy came so much, he used to have dinner with us.
Was it David Burst who was the head?
I forgot it was a black. It was a black guy. It was a black. It was so long. That was back in the 70s.
Okay.
And finally, I never saw him again. So they could not prove that my grandmother, because she had all the receipts, she had everything to show that she paid for that car.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They did a good job. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you something, Skip. You know how it is. Look, the thing is that these players, even in my era, look, we were poor. We were poor. I mean, we're poor kids. And for somebody to give you $500 or $1,000, that's a lot of money. But the first thing people are going to say, well, you get a scholarship and you get housing. Man, look.
I can't eat that.
Thank you. In football, a lot of football players don't go to college to graduate. The first thing they think, I'm going to the NFL. Same thing with basketball. I'm one and done. You think, you know what? I'm going to go one, but I'm going to go back and get my degree. Hell no. I don't even want to see that in university again. I'm thinking about this.
But even if you did, shouldn't it be your option to go back and finish your degree, and then you have the money to pay for it yourself?
It's just an option, but 99.99% of them are not going back. It's all about getting the money to take care of mama, daddy, grandma, sister, and brother.
Okay, so how much was your annuity? We just need to know. Was it $100,000? That would have been pretty good in those days. No?
I didn't get no.
500,000?
All I'm saying is that
I can't recall.
He said his mama needed a refrigerator, and Texas bought the refrigerator. But then
I think A&M bought the refrigerator.
A&M bought the refrigerator, and then SMU built a house around
we need to wash it or dry. Let's put it like that. That's what we need to wash it or dry.
Eric will be back later in the show. Should LeBron be complaining about the refs? We'll discuss that with Stephen Jackson.
Old washing dry went on the back porch. They didn't put him in that.